Akobom ana esibo. So finally, Afenyo Markin esiu Sammy Gyamfi. No anya semketua of parliament. I'll give you snippets of that encounter. Nintia wo si Eric Adjei account, nintia wo si Peace FM. Any man join online, munim say na me penny. So I'm happy. Always been so indicate so no to ship it takrem always be what check ho na criminal matter na emra so free you Sammy Gyamfi no evidence in emra. But something happened on Channel 1 TV City. Benadavle interviewed the IMF country rep for Ghana, Dr. Adrian Alter. Then all kind of by Goldbod-BoG. And this is something that has been very, very important. I know in the coming days, this interview will trend. Mema accept na relevant to you in this discussion. Tell you on all these issues. So be subscribe ya mama. Subscribe ya no click the notification. Me the video be to be who you have a comment, feel free leave that comment in the comment section. We are meshow so be ko Goldberry Construction Limited do dana episodes in wasase and krata some documentations related to your house in the Goldberry. E be this age man in them. We are back on access for any endeavor you are engaging in Ghana. Our bridges sending tons of dollars, euros, pounds. Or the back Ghana, won't share the feedback in you, you put go back tracky bibia, my check, say bibia coso, or monfa usi canany, or more penny bibia, bacomasses. Just go to their website or call them for all the further and better particulars. If your man farmer, how from as you just say from a show, never be a come their man. And no parliamentary conveyor. Among other matters, to attend to some bills, do the vetting of Eric Adjei Rawlings, and also Mahama. I had said that they were ministers, so they just have to swap. They don't need to go for new vetting. I think it's because of the GH Mensa versus Attorney General ruling, you know. Yes. Now, no Afenyo Markin or Kasa. Nintia wasiu Sammy Gyamfi, wasiu Eric Adjei, multimedia, Peace FM, any.
This house has been recalled to consider urgent business. That urgent business is not, on its face, the matter I am about to raise. But Mr. Speaker, no other paper drawn up before today could have anticipated the shock that met Ghanaians this month. That the government that they elected to reset the governance of this country has, under the watch of Goldbod and Bank of Ghana, lost 1.7 billion US dollars. At today's exchange rate, that is 22 billion cedis gone from a program that was meant to protect our gold, strengthen our city, and support our economy. Speaker, according to IMF report dated 17 December 2025 at page 3, paragraph 56, quote, losses from the domestic gold purchase program and Goldbod-BoG's activities should not be borne by the central bank and transparently brought on budgets. Further, the BoG should develop a clear and time-bound strategy for scaling down gold purchases, end quote. Speaker, we hold a firm view that this House cannot convene this week and be silent on that figure. It must become part of our deliberations so that the people of Ghana know that those in charge of implementation of policy must account to the people of Ghana. In keeping with that conviction, and in line with the relevant provisions of our standing orders, on the 20th of August 2026, we, the minority, filed through the proper process a motion demanding the establishment of an ad hoc committee under Order 2621A to investigate the loss in full. We ask that this House refer that matter to a committee empowered to summon documents, summon witnesses, and give Ghanaians the disaggregation they are owed. Not a summary, not a slogan. A full account of how much of that $1.7 billion was lost to foreign exchange movement, how much was lost in the prices at which gold was bought and sold, and what judgment, if any, guided the officials who made those decisions. Speaker and colleagues, this matters beyond the number itself. When the Bank of Ghana's own capital is eroded by losses of this size, it is a taxpayer who is called upon to recapitalize. Your city, my city, every Ghanaian city, called upon to rebuild an institution brought low by the decisions the public bears the cost of. That is not a technical matter for economists alone. That is a matter of urgent public importance for this House, under Order 114 of our standing orders, and we, the minority, shall treat it as such. Speaker, we make this point in a context that makes the loss even harder to accept. As we speak, Ghanaians in mining communities across this country continue to suffer kidney failure, lung failure, and other grave conditions at alarming rates because of the extensive pollution that illegal mining has visited upon our water bodies and our air. This has become nothing short of a widespread epidemic, one this government appears to have neither the clue nor the courage to confront. So while Goldbod cannot account for 1.7 billion, an equivalent of 22 billion Ghana cedis, Ghanaians in our mining communities are paying with their kidneys, their lungs, and in other cases, their lives. This House owes them an answer too. Speaker, in the face of the allegations of extortion leveled against me, I have chosen to take high moral ground by submitting myself to the processes of the law. I have accordingly caused writs to be filed in suit number GT 1029/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Samuel Gyamfi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/AC/CC/C5/02/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Eric Adjei and Peace FM at the Chimota Circuit Court. I have every confidence that in the fullness of time, the court will make the appropriate determination on these matters. Mr. Speaker, I also await with bated breath that the man or the men who made the allegation will have the courage to report the matter to the police or the OSP or any investigating agency in this country. And I expect that if they muster the courage to report that I have extorted from them and I am invited, I shall submit myself to every investigation so that eventually my name is cleared. Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to political discourse. There are lines that must not be crossed, and these red lines, once crossed, they must be dealt with. Mr. Speaker, I can modestly and humbly say that I have served in this position with integrity. I came into this office a man of hard work with determination, and I have achieved for myself what I have to do for myself, my family, and my constituents.
Yes, it's a good step. The only thing a man has is what? Is his name. So if indeed it has not been extorted, that is a civil matter, and will be in a defamation of 15 million allegedly rates na me no 15 million cedis from Sammy Gyamfi who gu nani ma ase. OSP so indicates so no so ehwehwe takrem. Onye canon so nya criminal proceedings no. You can't have parliament and public officers through accusations and you reduce it to nothingness. No, it shouldn't happen. No, IMF country director for Ghana, Adrian Alter, and so Bernard Avlesiai, you kind about Goldbod, Sammy Gyamfi issues, Goldbod, Bank of Ghana issues, Afenyo Markin, Goldbod, Bank of Ghana issues, any.
So the fund does commentary on gold in a number of ways. On the Article 6, on the 6th review under Article 4, you talk extensively about the Goldbod, but you also have succeeded in getting everybody to agree that the operations will no longer be under the central bank. So I need two things from you. Why was the fund concerned about the Bank of Ghana's sort of bearing the brunt of, I'm not sure if that's the right word. Basically, why should the operations of the gold board not be on the books of the Bank of Ghana? Why do you think that the BoG should not do what you call quasi-fiscal operations? Explain that first.
Okay, so let's clarify a few things. First, gold plays a central role to the economy, and that helped higher export proceeds, helped with the stabilization of the cedi, helped with rebuilding reserves. Okay, so we have established that. Secondly, the lessons from the domestic gold purchase program are also that we need to be careful about governance, transparency, reporting, and care about the costs incurred by the program. Now, the IMF analysis basically shows that the DGPP, throughout its history, has led to significant losses to the BoG, which ended up with equity of negative 7% at the end of roughly 7% at the end of 2025. Part of that was driven by the DDP. Part of it was driven by the DGPP, the Domestic Gold Purchase Program. So the main point here is that the central bank cannot be involved in this activity, quasi-fiscal activity, because its balance sheet is deteriorating, and that basically can interfere with its primary mandate, which is price stability. Okay, so how it can interfere is basically the central bank has operational costs, and it has cost for sterilization, and if it decides that this is too expensive, then it affects their balance sheet. They might not do that, and then you will see prices skyrocketing, and that's not something that we want to go back. So we want them to maintain price stability as their primary objective, and that's in the second one is central bank independence. That's key. When you talk about fiscal dominance, basically lending to the government, you need an independent central bank. The BoG should not lend to government entities. They should get that financing from the markets, from the commercial banks. So now basically the operations have been moved from the BoG to Goldbod, both buying and selling of gold, and therefore the government, together with Goldbod, will need to think thoroughly about financing model, about how to minimize the costs, and at the same time maximize the benefits of this program. So in a way, it's not, I would say, the move is the first step. We have seen the government taking steps to, let's say, reduce the costs. There were 15% in 2025. They're on the path to reducing that to 5%. And then they need to think whether scaling up this program can be sustained in the long term.
Yes. And that's the chief thing that I'll take. How we can minimize the exposure whilst achieving the same results. Can we do that? That is why I'm saying that the 3 reasons this IMF report highlighted, those are the ones that we should focus much energy on. I feel crowded noise in the baby phone because EOCO court. Always just want also be a criminal. That is good for our democracy. Absolutely good for them. I'm very, very happy because you see, in this country, we always have a way. And Rebecca said, it said, Oswald, I think Kodjo even said it's a distraction. If it's a distraction, me go say to me, you see, the thing that people don't get that me, Rebecca for me who be I don't care. Me care and kachani me jai. I don't care because me a public officer. But when you serve in public office and you're not careful, and people say things, politics. Oh, omoboa. You are forming a certain perception about and they be a because me chemo say. Aya, yensua de. All along, guys, you for the government, corrupt, you for the government, you just say to make company at the end. Data, Google, corruption perception index. Obian koto se prenya go for the physical be gu the bag mo ko ba bia o. Send ye netema mufo, send ye business entities e wo kronum, send ye investors e ba Ghana no, ye busa a wo mo no transfer na Transparency International no mo ntia buku bi. Enye Transparency International no, tell you make IMF omo ye envious there be. They are an internationally reputed organization. They don't measure only corruption in Ghana. It's an internationally established entity. Umubusan Crawford say, "Odin sa binding ne corruption, the costing." So it's a perception. 2015, the person suffered it. Person suffered 9 years down the line. Was the enye bibia? You are not serious. You don't understand politics. You don't understand politics. BB. So there must be a probe. There must be an establishment of truth or otherwise. And the person lying must be shamed. That is it. We cannot have a free for all politics or can you pay. Say to move munti. Me de be a mechanism media. But politicians say me wan asam kura form kura from no mo kasa. Enti sa na tie de amobe kasa so de when you talk, speech comes with responsibility. So if speech comes with responsibility, when you accuse someone of a wrongdoing and you are not willing to bring the evidence, you must be impressed upon to bring the evidence. If you the one being accused also feel that you've been your reputation has been impugned, your reputation has been soiled, and there's no evidence of the accusation being leveled against you, what do? You seek a civil remedy in the law. Simplicity. Na me penny many a bruta afeni ebe hu no kure no. Bese makachira mo me asem de meka se kokoto. That's my debut. Na wan kokota me say wo say na ye chine ni atwini 2 weeks debut kokota. Eba quarter ye nyina ye be hu evidence adeko. Ye nyina ye be hu ne ewu nyina so nti a wo ka ne wo ka. That is it. And when you report here say, and when it becomes more factual. Now it's not about someone's feelings, it's not about someone liking somebody. No. Go to court. Me assembly be able to should be a court. Untimi niska ko bonidua. Me G African tradition me call it about me African bonidua. Kusuan so dey phone snap. Che. Enyu bia omumu bi no abetwetwe no pa bia no ko. It's just that some people don't want to mind you, but people's integrity is currency. Obu wa ne brand ne image na currency no didi. No atro no pa bia no ko no bin say no aka no pa bia no ko da bi. They should set examples of people. We establish the truth or we probe and know who is lying. Simplicity. Now you vie ni na yamra the 3 reasons. Can we still, as he said, minimize the losses and still achieve the stability that we are enjoying? Now, I've always said that there's some semblance of stability, unless you don't want to be honest. Yes, some products I will not debate anybody because my economic realities are different from anybody's economic realities. Uchi sanumka, me no reality nyepe. Uchi 4x4, me no reality yepe. What home I'm in China, papa chen, me no reality enyepe. We be a wu yusu Habiba, me yusu vaccine, petroleum jelly, nene liquid one. Me reality different. Ebi a wu yusu Nivea, me yusu Axe. Maybe you na Axe oba kubi. The bathroom ne wa. We dey me kame de chere. Enti a reality different. Wo ka se won achieve stability. Me no ni achi na bi age. Me you go say to there. There's some semblance of stability. Makama dwuma bi a me ye chere why no support say bi for teta. Me reality no na bi a won say bi sa. Enti no kasa economy na nya wo wasama. E na me nso masam na me kan. Enti no bia reality nyepe. By the end of the day ni ye we na yemra 3 reasons. No, so understand your kind. Yate from 15 to 5% or so. So that tells you that we can actually achieve the same results. And as I said, work around the fringes and look at where we can prune, look at where we can trim, and achieve the same core. Intermediate. This is my view on all these matters. I don't know what you stand on all this, but feel free share that view in the comment section. Obisuka said. Many IMF report on them, and I'm baby continue my political duty. Now, me one word me call banko and numre. Me yeah certainly you know sir. I be boss and me tell this. ediso na ebe nyame ya adom nko ade amene wakọ the entire IMF report and the key salient points no we will do that for you me de no sana me kan also follow the bra in the comment section we are na subscribe am mo subscribe ya na click the notification me the video bi etuma be hu na watimi ahwe bi mesro so be hwe wo so ye de am me hia o my Ghana so hia bye bye